50 Cent.
I love the beginning. It's just showing all the characters. It's like, here's all the characters in here.
And I like the Guile. They just show his hair.
Pod racing game.
Yeah. Now this is pod racing.
Now this.
And that's the hard part about these trailers is like the cinematic quality is so
Yeah,
nice.
it looks great. I don't know what the gameplay
I
is,
need to
though.
know how I'm playing this. Yes. It's Minecraft.
Ooh, this is Minecraft.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Yes. Because this is a trailer that will get us demonetized. And okay, see, so I just want to. Hello and welcome to the Break Room, everybody. I'm Alex Berg. With me here are Jessica Clemons and Brian Kim. As of taping today, Friday, the 12th of December, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. The Game Awards were last night. This is the GG cam. This is GG. Good gamer.
Good game.
Some would say the best game.
Yeah, Giga Gamer. The Game Awards were last night. We got roughly 2,000 trailers of things that we're excited about. And as new Rockstars resident gaming triad, the three of us picked out a bunch that we are the most excited about. And we're going to go through and talk about those things today. I do want to do just like a quick recap of the Game Awards, some notable things. I think probably the headline news being Clair, Expedition 33 just swept the Game Awards last night. And, you know, this is a game that I have downloaded twice and played exactly 0 hours of because it's like an immersive RPG I want to play with my partner. And every time we download it, she's like, I'm tired. Can we just play Dave the Diver or something else? And Dave the Diver is great, but I haven't gotten around to playing it. But now that it's one of these awards, I really feel like I'm missing out on something.
You are missing out.
A big moment. I am, but also won awards that I was happy to see. Silk Song and Hades 2 both won big awards. What won the multiplayer ongoing game? Arc Raiders won an award. You know, so it was. It felt like, at least to me, watching from the outside, it felt like a year for the Game Awards where the Game Awards can feel very just commercial and still do, as evidenced by the spreadsheet of trailers in front of me. But it also felt like there were some really quality games that were being recognized for very specific and technical categories, and I was happy to see that.
I agree.
Okay, but that's all we're going to talk about Expedition 33 because we've got a bunch of other stuff we want to get into here. So first on the list, we did get a couple of movie trailers that I think deserve mention. First of which being the Street Fighter movie. And so let's watch through that for those of you who haven't seen it at home.
Go pull it up here.
Yeah, we'll pull it up. This is our. We didn't even fill the whole thing out. We were like,
but
we can't
it's
get through all
enough.
this.
It's enough. We did it. Like we were gonna go through all 300.
I know. Okay, here we go.
50 Cent.
I love the beginning. It's just showing all the characters. It's like, here's all the characters in here.
And I like the Guile. They just show his hair.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Orville Peck is doing.
It's doing the flash kick.
I mean, this looks so fun.
Yeah, they're going full goofy.
Yeah, full goofy, like the weird camera pushes and stuff.
Well, the last movie that tried to make a real Street Fighter was
This is my favorite
Fight
part.
car.
Yes.
Gotta be up the car, of course.
The fact that they got the Honda bonus level in there really made me so happy.
So fun.
Yeah, I mean, that for me, you know, it's interesting because when I was a kid, Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat were kind of a part of like the Super Nintendo Sega rivalry. And it's interesting that we're getting movies for both in the next year. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you have a dog in the Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat race?
Unfortunately, I was raised on Mortal Kombat, so I'm always leaning Mortal Kombat. But I grew to like Street Fighter. Me and my brother were Mortal Kombat people, but our friends were Street Fighter friends. Yeah. So like my roommate's a huge Street Fighter person, and so he makes me play with him all the time. And so we play Street Fighter 6 all the time. And I like Street Fighter, but I will always be a Mortal Kombat girl. Yeah. And I like MK1 more than Street Fighter 6, unfortunately. MK1 was really fun for me.
No, for sure.
Brian, what about you?
No, I'm loving that trailer because like I think where Street Fighter is now, it is kind of goofy. Like I think maybe in the beginning it was a little bit more like serious street fighting.
No, it was Blanca was there from the jump. You know what I mean? Like Dulcine was there from the jump. Like it's always been goofy. It's
always been kind of like parody characters and like weird people and like beating up a car is a bonus level. Like that's like a whole
Yeah.
thing. And I think this really captured that energy.
Yes.
And also the cast of this is crazy. Also, Andrew Schultz is in there for some reason.
He was casted before everyone started to hate him, so you can't go back on it.
It was Dan Hibiki, which is whatever. Anyway, but no, it looks a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, that's all I need. You know, I think in terms of what do I want from a Street Fighter movie, I don't know what more I could ask for than this, like, just super fun, like, we're going to kick someone through a wall. And, you know, like, the characters look like not really like super accurate to how I remember them from when I was a kid, but I think they're probably accurate to what they are now.
Comparatively to like, you know, some of the characters are cartoonishly big or stretchy. So it's not gonna work.
They're not using that. Clearly, they're not using that kind of physics, which I wish they were. In the games, you can make yourself so crazy big. My character was a girl that was like 6'12", like a number that doesn't exist. I made her a tank. I was so excited, but no, the like. Even 50 Cent. I wish 50 Cent was interacting with other people.
Like his haircut is like so spot on. Guile's hair is so. I'm really here for the hair, you guys.
I mean, I'm here for the hair.
I'm a hair man.
You know.
People who know me would agree I'm a hair person first and foremost. I barely talk about other things.
There's also this has nothing to do with the games, just with Gigi. She's perfect in every way. And there's been some times when you cut to the wide, it looks like I'm staring down at Berg's crotch. And I'm not.
There's a dog in
There's
my
a
crotch.
dog there. There's a dog in his crotch.
Almost every time it happens, there's a dog in my crotch.
And
the rest of the time,
just
there's an HR complaint.
So when you see me do it immediately, just so you know, it's me staring into the tongue of Gigi.
This little.
But good trailer.
Yeah, great trailer.
I'm wondering what the like plot is gonna be because they sold the vibes. But like, Street Fighter has had a history of either like a serious plot of like Ryu going through like
it's not gonna be serious.
Or some kind of like because like M. Bison, like there's a whole thing with him trying to become like extra powerful emperor of the world or something. And
also, you know, kind of all I want from a Street Fighter movie plot wise is what it seems like Mortal Kombat is already doing plot wise, where it's like
Mortal Kombat 2.
Yes,
Mortal Kombat 1 did not.
But yeah, where it's like, hey, there's a tournament going on. We need you to fight. Like really, you know, kind of in the same way I felt going into Predator Badlands, which I really liked, but it was simple and I liked the simplicity. Like that's all I need. I'm trying to kill this thing. Here's a bunch of cool like fight scenes or whatever. Like that's all I need from a Street Fighter movie.
I think that's what video game adaptations are kind of getting into already is like the simplicity of like, oh, we do want. I think that's Mortal Kombat talked about. I'm not praising Mortal Kombat at all in when I'm saying this, but Mortal Kombat has said like, oh, going into the second movie, we had such a hard time trying to balance the studio wants you to get new people, but also get the fans. And so they're like, we have to kind of cater to both. And so a lot of the fans of Mortal Kombat hated the movie, but everyone's a fan of Mortal Kombat. Everyone knows the like story of Mortal Kombat. Everyone saw the old 90s Mortal Kombat. So I think you should have just stuck with your guns of doing the Mortal Kombat that we already knew, not some random storyline that didn't have them fighting until the very end. But I think they're gonna take that to heart with Street Fighter as well. I think a lot of Street Fighter clearly is already commercialized where they're like, oh, we're gonna get wrestlers. We're gonna get Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. We're also gonna get 50 Cent. Like that budget is actually kind of crazy. So they're like, okay, we have to stick to like the game mechanic, fun gameplay things. Like it's not gonna be too dense. You don't need to do too much homework. You just need to know these people fight really well.
I think also like, you know, games are difficult to translate into other media because they're fundamentally so interactive. You know, like in most games, if you were really going to accurately adapt the game, would just feel like a John Wick movie. Like John Wick is arguably the best video game adaptation of all time.
And when John Wick is just going to become what Alan Wake is when they make it into a movie.
Alan
Wake, they shouldn't even make it into a movie. There's no point in doing that. Just go play the goddamn game.
We'll get to Remedy's newest offering shortly. Should we move on to our next? We have one more non-game game trailer.
Okay, now say that one more time.
I glitched. Sometimes I glitch. But we have an extended look at the Super Mario Galaxy.
Coming up.
Oh, here's Jeff Keighley.
Hey,
I didn't mean to hit play, but I did. So
I can't believe he would interrupt you.
I know.
Unprofessional.
White on white crime.
I know. It's terrible. Never thought it would happen to me. I thought maybe someone would embezzle me.
Oh, that's fine.
Pretty sure we saw a similar weapon being used in the Supergirl trailer.
Who would you get in the knee?
Yeah.
Oh, true. Yeah. And then that's
some fun stuff there. thoughts on? I haven't played Galaxy, but I think both of you have.
Yeah.
How does this feel?
How does this feel? We don't have to talk too much about this one since we
there's
did
not very much there.
And also, we had like 10, not even 10. We had such quick turnaround time when we broke down the trailer, but Brian helped me with the trailer breakdown. So Brian and I already talked about it a lot. But Brian, if you want to talk more about it, because you didn't get a chance to talk about it.
It's true. The movie seems like it's gonna be fun. I just think the interesting thing is that they went straight to Galaxy, because Galaxy is, they skipped World, more like Super Mario World. They skipped Sunshine. Not skipped. I think they're implementing all of that.
Yeah.
But no, that looks fun. I really liked the first Super Mario movie because it just was goofy. I think I'm in a mood where I just like movies that are fun and goofy. I don't need the story to be good.
I'll tell you, man. And when I was in my 20s, I was like, give me a movie that's dark. I want to see a movie about someone's dog, getting ill, and then really, I need to prove that I'm a film fan by watching something heavy. And now I'm like, no, I bet it's great, but I still haven't watched Killers of the Flower Moon, and I don't know if I'm gonna. It's like I don't. My life is full of fucking heaviness. I don't need to go seek it out. That's
me with every sad movie. I'm like that. I still have not seen Wild Robot because I'm like I don't want to cry. I'm not ready to cry. I cry so much naturally every single day. I am not in a position to make myself sad knowingly.
I will say I watched Wild Robot in a very hilarious way last holidays when I was home with my father. We were just channel surfing, and normally we wind up watching some James Bond movie or something. And Wild Robot came up, and he was like, I would watch this if you would. And I was like, yeah, I would watch it if you wanted to watch it. And then,
crying.
Yeah, an hour later, oh God,
I hate this. But
pretty funny.
Like Brian said, sorry, go back to Super Mario Galaxy. I'm happy they jumped to Super Mario Galaxy. I am kind of sad that we haven't got Luigi's Mansion. I think they're saving those ones. I know that they're incorporating a little bit of Sunshine, but I think they're gonna save those because it's after this one, what other big Super Mario one are you going to take? You could take any Mario, but it has to be
I want Smash Brothers. I want the Mario Kart movie where it's just F1 with someone in the Cloudmobile or whatever.
I don't think it would be good, but the idea of how we're getting these Mortal Kombats and these Street Fighters, if they just did a Smash Bros. First off, it would cost so much money. It would cost so much money. License everything, but also then be okay, this one's designed separately from this one. The easiest person designed somehow is just Mr. Game & Watch. And then you're just we have to go get the Wii girl.
Oh yeah, the Wii Fitness.
The Wii Fitness. It costs too much.
Well, let's move on from Super Mario to another much ballyhooed franchise. That's how the kids talk these days. We got two. Everyone says ballyhoo. You're weird for not saying it. So we got two Star Wars trailers, one for Fate of the Old Republic, one for Galactic Racer. I have a feeling Fate of the Old Republic is going to be the bigger game.
Well, yes.
Of the two, but I think Galactic Racer might be the better game. But here's the trailer for Fate of the Old Republic.
Better's a nice.
Okay, and this is a star that is headed to war.
Shut the hell up.
Star.
I will say, and that's the hard part about these trailers is the cinematic quality is so
nice. It's straight. I don't know what the gameplay
I need to know how I'm playing this. It looks beautiful. Look at this.
This looks fantastic.
It's gonna blow up my PlayStation. Jesus Christ. It's gonna be for the next one. If I have it.
I know.
Look at that. You out of your fucking mind.
It's some kind of lava Jedi. Probably.
Look at that.
Classic lava Jedi.
Look at those eyes. Wow. The reflection of the lightsaber in there.
Yeah.
Casey Hudson.
Look at that.
In development for PC and consoles. So realistically, this is almost a trailer for a trailer. We don't, we have no time frame. It's a great teaser. It certainly gets me excited to spend time in that world, but like Jess said, I don't know what the gameplay is.
I don't know what the gameplay is. Also, like everyone or like some others have said in the chat, after Outlaws, you like it or you hate it. I'm not trying to drop dime on something that I'm you guys haven't really been showing up too much in the ways that I want. But also, and this is the problem, immediately saying Casey Hudson. I was like, oh yes, I love Mass Effect. You're out of your mind.
That's the thing.
I love Mass Effect.
I want more Mass Effect in this trailer, and then also Exodus, which we'll talk about if we have time. both had strong. I mean, we can just jump to Exodus in a moment.
We should jump to Exodus after this because it feels like it is Mass Effect, and I'm afraid that having Casey Hudson on it, being Mass Effect, being KOTOR also came out so long ago. Yeah. I'm thinking more Mass Effect. I'm like, are they trying to give us a Star Wars Mass Effect game, which I'm fine with because I love Mass Effect so much. But I think a lot of people watching are like, no, that's not what we want. Or some people are. Some people have been like immediately like, I don't want a Mass Effect thing. I hope he makes it like Mass Effect. I'm sorry. I want it.
For me, and like Jess, you can disagree. I'll let you. But for me, I'm about to get Jess is 2 seconds away from backfisting me.
I would never take Gigi out of your lap first.
I know. This is the only reason I'm still here. But for me, when I say I want a Mass Effect game, what that's shorthand for are the things that I think Mass Effect does really well. I think Mass Effect has really great, and part of this was the engine they were using on the first 3. When they moved to the Frostbite engine for Andromeda, it changed, obviously. But it does really great cinematic action sequences that I think are absolutely best in class. But part of the reason those hit so hard is because certainly in Mass Effect 2 and 3, you're getting those cinematic action sequences on the heels of really great, tightly told short stories. Like some of the short stories in Mass Effect 3, when you're like going around to like put your team together or whatever, are like they feel just like this is a great 3-hour long short sci-fi story that also helps build towards this larger thing that's happening in a way that like Andromeda had that buried in there, but it was very bloated. Starfield, I don't think ever really had that.
Yeah, I know.
And so I think
Starfield,
dude, I'll go to bat. I'll go to limited. I'll go to limited bat for Starfield. I'll go to limited bat. Not here, not now, because it's like the bat is so limited. But so for me, like looking at this Star Wars thing, I'm like, well, this is like a really rich world that we know from all the other film and canon entries in it. It looks gorgeous, so hopefully they have those cinematic action sequences. But again, the track record with Star Wars games is mixed.
I'm relying heavily on, which they are too. They put his name in there on Casey Hudson.
Yes,
that is who I'm relying completely on. But I'm not holding him to like to force this, put a gun to his head and be like, give me another KOTOR. Like I'm not doing that. I'm just like, I want to see what you're doing here. I'm not going to be completely pessimistic, which is crazy for Jessica Clemons to say. I'm not being completely pessimistic. I'm very optimistic.
I'm optimistic for it.
Once that gameplay comes through, and also once it comes out 12 years from now, I'm sure I'll be into it.
Yeah. Well, so should we, Brian, do you have any more thoughts on Fate of the Republic before we move on to Exodus?
No, yeah. I mean, I think just echoing what you guys said, and like, because this is like a very clearly like it's Fates of the Old Republic, so it's like, clearly some kind of sequel-ish to Knights of the Old Republic. Yes. I think, a lot of people wanted either a remake or a sequel to that game. And so there's a lot riding on this game. Yeah. And so I do think because of that, I'm more likely to be optimistic, because they're not going to mess up a game that like everybody's looking forward to.
Right. Jedi Survivor and Outlaw felt like, well, these are their own things.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
It's just hard because you can still mess up.
It's true.
And I'm not trying to, but I agree I'm more 100% on your boat where I'm like, I think they've noted it.
Yeah.
I think they've noted it.
And like, like KOTOR is like one of the games that established like that old BioWare magic, right? Like it's like that, the first Dragon Age, Mass Effect, obviously, and I'll go to bat. It's not technically BioWare, but I'll go to bat for Banner Saga, which was like some of the BioWare dudes went off and made their own company.
All the BioWare dudes left and made amazing things.
I know.
They all did great things.
Okay, so let's watch the Exodus trailer just while we're talking about Mass Effect and Mass Effect likes.
This is close to my favorite trailer.
I think this might be my favorite trailer, and that I hadn't heard of this before yesterday, and I'm so excited about this game now. Because it's gaming.
It looks so fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple things in this trailer that made me genuinely like react out loud the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, so far I'm liking all the alien designs. Stuff looks great. This clearly feels like an engine footage. Yeah, this kind of like mix of like gunplay and combat.
Mess it up. This is what made me not want to play the game. I was like, it's gonna kill me. It's gonna be my ass.
I'll show you the thing. Where's this big chonky boy I fell in love with? Look, there he is. Oh yeah, we got that orangutan.
Orangutan guy.
We got that orangutan guy. We got a squid in a spacesuit, or an octopus in a spacesuit. We got a big bear. Look at this bear.
Space bear.
Space bear.
Oh my god.
You know,
Great.
2027.
I know.
Okay, I didn't see all that.
Freaking-
I didn't see all that. But because they also Exodus was I think, and this is me vaguely remembering this from my time over at the Ringer, was mentioned a long time ago. Like it was brought up a long time ago, because that's why I think I remember them saying like Matthew McConaughey because of Interstellar.
I mean, you know, it's worth mentioning that, like, you know, even for like relatively quick turnaround on games, you know, like we kind of get spoiled by stuff like Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, these franchises that pump out a game every year, but you forget that's like 3 studios working in parallel.
Yeah.
You know, like with the Arkham games, it was like you'd have WB Montreal working on one and then WB somewhere else working on one, you know. But Exodus to me is I don't know if it's my favorite because I'm such a sap for Control, but it's very exciting.
It looks really good.
It looks really, really good.
It's also, these AAA games is so hard because you're like, yeah, it's gonna come out this day, but then GTA is constantly like pushing their shit, and that's why I'm like, yeah, some AAA games are like, yeah, we're gonna make sure it comes out on this day, and it does, and then you see, what was that Call of Duty? It wasn't Call of Duty. It was that Ubisoft game. I went to Gamescom in Germany, watched gameplay footage, and I went, this doesn't look right. And then they pushed it so much.
Yeah.
I forget which it was, but it was so funny. They were those AAA games. They get me sometimes.
That's true.
Now, I want to, for our next trailer, because part of what I like about Exodus is it's new IP, it's new franchise. I don't have anything to do.
Yeah, give me time.
I'm gonna pop up one that Brian brought to my attention, called Tank Rat.
Ooh.
That looks
That's your nickname.
awesome.
That's me.
Yeah, Tank Rat over here.
Tank Rat over here.
Okay, I actually don't think I'll get.
Yeah.
You can call me Tank Rat.
I changed your Slack handle already. So let's watch this trailer for Tank Rat.
Now this is a game that's just pure gameplay.
Yes, this is.
Oh, perfect. I love that. And I love that. I love that. Give me that.
This game looks so much like a game I used to play in arcades in high school.
Yeah, just tanks shooting each other.
I love that tank thing of like driving this way while shooting the other way. You know, like
I guess you're that guy or something because you're like taking over tanks.
yeah, I think you're in that little lich
That's
thing.
the rat. That's Tank Rat.
This is so wild.
Look at it, it's a
You
custom
built it. That's
upgrade
cool.
that tank?
That's sick.
Again, this is a game similar to Exodus I hadn't heard about 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
You know, but Brian, this was one of the ones you flagged. So tell me, what excites you about Tank Rat, Mr. Tank Rat?
I think it's literally that. When I saw it, I'm like, oh shoot, there's a freaking game where you're a tank and you shoot things. Yeah. I want to play it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you forget games, they're also for fun.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be an exciting story or something you feel, even though it can, even though it's great. Sometimes you just want to be a tank and exploding things, building a tank. I don't know. It seems fun.
I was going to ask that before we got started because I was like, oh, there's so many trailers. What does everyone would say is their like main way of playing games? Because it seems like you like playing a tank. I completely understand. I was like,
you like playing tank.
You like
I, for instance, enjoy games of the mind.
Games of the mind. I like a little art, not a tank. No, mainly because I was like, when I was watching all these games, I was like, yeah, I always forget that unfortunately, I'm a PvP, like first person shooter, or just co-op or anything team based, or just going against other players. If it's an MMO, I'm in it. I'm playing the hell out of it. I'm calling out of work sick to play it. If it involves making a guild, I'm also in it. I'm like into so much team-based stuff and co-op based stuff that when I like see these games, I was like, oh, I love a lot of these games. I'm not gonna have time to play a lot of them. It's gonna be the worst time for me next year trying to play these games.
I think I gotta kind of divide it into like the games I love the most and the games I play the most. You know, like the games I play the most, I think, are probably roguelikes for the same reason you play like shooters, because it's like, I don't know if I have like 2 hours to sit down and really like, you know, stew in the world or whatever. I'll pick this up and play like a round, which then of course becomes 6 hours, you know, of my life or whatever. But I think the games I wind up loving the most are are single player action adventure games. Like, you know, like Mass Effect would fall in that category, like, you know, the Insomniac Spider-Man games, the Arkham games, Last of Us, certainly the Uncharted games, you know, like those are the games where I really kind of feel the most that I get the most excited about, especially if they have like a crafting system where I can grind my level or something like that. Great. But I think the games I wind up playing the most are like, when Slay the Spire 2 is going to come out in March, and that'll absorb me for like 3 months,
I know that.
Yeah, Brian, what about you?
I mean, I mostly just like mechanically driven games like platformers or also action RPGs, and also like that's why that's why of like all the games like Mario, I'm a freaking huge Mario fan.
Yeah, sure.
I played all the Marios. That's also why I like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight, I know people, it's a Metroidvania, but the platforming part is what I really like. It just makes me feel good, like bouncing on things and jumping. Celeste was an old game, but dude, I love Celeste.
I went so hard I got every strawberry. I got several of the B-sides.
I didn't go that hard, but
dude, I went hard for Celeste.
Yeah, I like these kind of mechanically driven games. Like, to be honest, a lot of these like AAA or like big games that like realistic people, not necessarily the most interesting to me, but I like all games, I like just playing games. If I have the time.
I think too, for me, like, one of the games I played the most this past year was Dave the Diver, which doesn't fit into any of the categories I just listed. But, there is a thing where it's like when a game does what it's trying to do well, I'll get into it. So if it's like, because some games are like, oh, this is like punishingly difficult. And I'm like, yeah, but it feels unfair. Then I'll bounce off it. But if it's Elden Ring and I'm like, no, that's really hard, but it's fair. Or like Silk Song, then I get like really compelled to it, or if a game's like, hey, this is supposed to be like cozy, and then it is Animal Crossing New Horizons, I'll be like, yeah, take 400 hours of my life.
Take it right
it's yours. It's yours.
I love them. I love all games. The AAA ones, though, I also feel I'm like, I play the hell out of I'll play the hell out of GTA. Don't get me fucking wrong. I'm gonna play GTA, sure. And I'm also gonna play Red Dead. I'm gonna play Red Dead, but I like to try to dabble in the indie ones when I can find them. Especially, if it is like a crazy, some random man made this yesterday, a horror game, I'm in it. If someone's like, you have to go work at a supermarket and some of the people are cannibals, I'm like, get me in there. Get me in there. All right, what's our next one? Sorry.
Okay, well, so I've chosen a bunch. Brian's chosen a bunch. Jess, you've highlighted, let's see in here.
I think I highlighted the same as you.
Mostly, yeah. Should we do Divinity? You want to talk about Divinity?
I don't know if we can show the trailer.
Let's do this. So if you are under the age of 18, you shouldn't watch this trailer.
Shouldn't.
Josh told us we should be careful showing this trailer.
Yeah. If you're over the age of 18, you also probably shouldn't watch this trailer. Maybe we just show, because the trailer gets gnarlier as it goes on.
To be fair, just cut off at the very
Maybe we should just watch like the first like couple bits. Yeah. Because this is a trailer that will get us demonetized. And okay, see, so I just want to... this even was not here last time I watched the trailer. Okay, that was... Only. Okay, so... This is a 3.5 minute trailer, and
it's a movie trailer.
It's a movie, yeah.
It is crazy.
It is really nuts. Yeah, we'll show like the fun parts where it just feels like a Ren fair before it goes off.
What the game
the R-rated part is still a Ren fair. Just keep in mind.
Yeah, and probably an accurate Ren fair. The man
still. That's fun. Is that a maypole? Everybody's having a great time.
Yes, we got some kind of Wicker Man thing going on.
Oh, that's happening. You said you were to snip it.
Well, that's not the bad part.
That's a bad part.
Okay, this part's still very good. And now we're burning this guy.
Yeah, burn that guy.
Okay, but now this is where I'll stop it, because pretty soon
it gets crazy.
Pretty soon
do bonfires not make you guys horny? I'm sorry. crazy out here.
Jess, I didn't say I wasn't horny. Don't put words in my mouth.
We know of him.
I'm Berg. I'm gonna play the hell out of this game.
I mean, so here's the thing. I do think this is where we stop the trailer, because after this is where it gets like pretty nuts. So this is the next big RPG from Larian, who did Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate, obviously massively popular, both critically and with people. Yeah. With the people. With the people. From a few years back, Larian is saying this game is even bigger. I have not played any of the other Divinity games, but I've been told they are great and really kind of set the stage for the type of combat and storytelling that Larian was able to further explore in Baldur's Gate 3. This trailer, I think we can say some of the things that happen.
Yeah,
in this
you can
trailer.
talk about it.
There's an orgy that may also be cannibalistic going on, right? That guy who gets burned alive gets ripped limb from limb, and like weird little demon flowers sprout out of him.
Yeah, here for it.
Everybody dies, and a portal to hell opens up where the Wicker Man was.
I'm eating it.
It looks metal as hell.
It's metal as hell.
It's metal.
And the thing about Larry with this, you know they're gonna put it. It's all in the game. 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 It's gonna be maybe a cutaway at one point.
You know, and this is also a studio that has tremendous goodwill, and I think Baldur's Gate was successful enough, and they also didn't do anything gross with Baldur's Gate where it's like, and we're gonna make it a forever game. They're just like, nope. We just made a game that was like well written enough that you want to replay it. That's where we're getting the extra time out of. You know, it's not like some half-assed live service thing or whatever. And so I think people are coming into this game with a lot of optimism, you know, or at least I am.
I think you should with Larians. I think they're great. They're great studios. I also like that they have been very. How dare you?
I was trying to readjust her.
I think they've been very nice because they've talked about how you don't need to play the Divinity, the other Divinity games to know this one, but it won't ruin the experience, but it might help you with the experience with continuity and just where they're shooting or where it takes place and everything. I guess is still aligned in this universe. If you want to play Divinity. It was the one
Divinity 2 Original Sin was
Original Sin
really freak out.
They said Original Sin and Original Sin 2. They were like, if you know those games, this will be great for you, but it also won't deter you story-wise from playing it. And same with people that play BG3. You can still play this game without having played BG3. It's a perfect standalone, but I'm also like, they recognize that so many people got into this world because of BG3 or into them because of BG3 that they were like, it's great. Now come play this other game. And I'm going to. This is unfortunately probably my favorite trailer.
This one?
I think
it disgustingly is. Exodus is definitely 2. It's because
this is a great trailer. I don't know if this is, you know, Baldur's Gate was so massive that I wound up, we're talking about it on Slack earlier today. And like, I'm a side quest boy. And Baldur's Gate 3 is a game that is made to kill side quest boys.
No, it's a game for you to play the side quest for 2 years.
I know, but that's the thing is I have to like play a game and then finish it. I can't have it be like, this is a great practice for you. You have to stop and go back to it every now and then. It's so hard for me. Once I walk away from a game, I'm done.
That's crazy.
Done.
No, Baldur's Gate 3 was like the only, that and Hades 4 were the 2 games I was like, let me go back into this.
Yeah.
I get it.
Are you going to play it?
This game?
You're gonna be a sicko, a little
maybe.
pervert?
I mean, it looks crazy because I remember. I don't know how. There's no like source, but like I saw somewhere on like Reddit where they're like, apparently this was like Larian Studios after Baldur's Gate 3. You know, they could have made Baldur's Gate 4, which would have been like super money, but they're like, we really want to make a new Divinity game, so they changed to doing this, which that gets me excited because if the devs really want to make it, I think it's gonna be good no matter what. It looks. I can't tell. Have you guys played the original Divinities?
I haven't played any of the Divinities. I've only played BG3.
Baldur's Gate was my first Larian game, and I loved it. Even though I didn't finish it, I loved it.
I wonder if they're gonna stay with the like. I know in Baldur's Gate it's like a turn-based. It's like D&D. So it's like a turn-based RPG. I wonder if that's gonna be the same for Divinity.
I heard in this one, every time you want to make an attack, you have to pay $1.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Now I hate the studio. What are you talking about?
I read online.
You're the guy getting burned.
I read online
with money.
It's all microtransactions. Every attack costs $1, and if you want to do a super attack, it's $1.75.
Wow.
Oh my god.
They're really changing up on
That's
us.
crazy.
That's the EA Star Wars Battlefront 2 monetization scheme. Yeah.
The only I will say, because I have to be a pessimist a little bit about stuff, the only downside I will say to this trailer is because I was saying, even with the Star Wars game, I was like, oh, this is a great trailer. I don't really know what the gameplay is. I don't know what the gameplay is. The same still applies here. It's just that I love the studio so much that I trust them that I will like the gameplay.
Well, I think that is a huge thing because like with Star Wars, you know, I just mentioned Battlefront 2. That was a game where it was like the moment-to-moment gameplay of Battlefront 2 was great, but the progression system was so tied to loot boxes that it was basically broken at launch unless you felt like shelling out another $40. And I don't think that's not Larian's deal. That's just not what that company's about. I don't worry about that. But sometimes these games, you know, like I was telling Brian, I started playing Pacific Drive the other night with my girlfriend, and The control scheme is non-intuitive. So we like the game, but feel like we're constantly fighting against the control scheme and the menu system to play it. Little things like that can make a huge difference in terms of how the game feels, you know. And I thought Baldur's Gate felt great, so I tend to trust Larian, you know. But those things you do need to kind of have a sense of like, yeah, but hey, am I spending 12 minutes in menus for every 1 minute of combat, or you know what's going on here? Now, okay, what we got? We probably got time for like 2 or 3 more trailers.
I think so.
When it's game talk, it kind of goes long anyway. We're watching trailers. Oh yeah, and we did start.
Oh, we did start late. Okay, great. So can we pull up Control? Because this is the thing
Control
that I love Control. I loved Alan Wake 2. My girlfriend spent a long time after we played Control trying to get Remedy to make her a showrunner for the TV adaptation. It didn't work, and that's your loss. But so here's the trailer for Control Resonant, which looks like it's directly tied into the events of the first game. And it looks great to me.
Do you feel it?
Is that the sister?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Jessie and that's her brother.
Oh, in the thing.
Yeah, they said this game is more the brother.
Oops! I love it.
Excuse
me?
It.
I don't speak that language.
I don't speak. I love a weapon that can change into any morph into
the gun
anything.
in the first game was so fun, like having it switch between modes.
Yes. It's Minecraft.
Ooh, it's Minecraft.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Yes.
This is gonna be one of those games I constantly give to my roommate when I get pissed off I'm losing.
This is gonna be a game that I will like prioritize play.
Okay.
Is your favorite trailer?
Okay.
I think this is,
It's gonna get weirder.
It's gonna get
weirder.
weird.
Remedy, in my opinion, doesn't have a perfect track record, but the things they do right, they do so goddamn right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, you know, whether or not you are super into Control and Alan Wake, like the weirdness of those games, I respect the swings that are taken. And for me, it's more hits than misses. But like the musical sequence in Alan Wake 2.
I love the first Alan Wake and the second Alan Wake. I love it so much. Alan Wake those were my babies for a minute. I was obsessed. And that second game was so much fun. I have not played Control though.
Man.
When Control came, and I wanted to, I did not have time, you guys, in 2019. But I think I'm going to download it before this game comes out.
You know what's funny is when the first Control came out, I had a PS4 baseline, like a vanilla PS4. And one of the guys I was working with at the time was obsessed with it. And he's like, you got to play it. You'd love it. And it was like chunking my PS4. You know, like I couldn't, there's all this like floating stuff and like it just like, it couldn't. And so I couldn't play it. Like it was like, it was unplayably slow and janky. And then I played it after I got my PS5. Was like, this game is absolutely incredible. You know.
Also, for people, I'm sure you guys all know because if you're watching the stream, you probably know games. We're bringing up Alan Wake because it's the same studio, same world, right?
Same world.
Isn't Control in the same world as Alan Wake?
So in one of the Control DLCs, it's very clear that Alan Wake exists in the same world, and then in Alan Wake 2, there's clear outposts from the FBC in the game. And it's very evident that they are in the same universe.
They also kind of look the same.
Yeah.
but it's still fun. Still fun.
Well, and the other thing I loved about Control is I think a lot of games, you know, we're saying how some of these trailers look like really cinematic. We were talking earlier about Mass Effect 2 and the Mass Effect games and how that like cinematic stuff is so interwoven with the game in a way that's really nice. A lot of games feel the need to pause the game to tell you the story in a way that just kind of interrupts the flow of it a little bit.
Sure.
And something the Control game, the first Control game did really well was it made every little tchotchke you found interesting. Like I can't think of a game I've played besides maybe the Last of Us games where every scrap of paper I picked up, I immediately wanted to read just for sake of that. That was so core to the world building for me. And like Control gets you to a point where you're like, oh no, I saw a grandfather clock in the hallway. I'm dead. You know, like it was just like so bizarre. And so to get more of that, I'm super on board. And I didn't play did you play the shooter at all? The co-op shooter that came out? Firebreak or whatever?
No.
It's in the Control and Alan Wake universes. It kind of bombed to a point where like it may have severely impacted Remedy's.
Damn.
You know, like I have a hard time with first person camera angles, so I tend not to play those games that make me sick. But they make me twisted.
Okay. No, and this is when Berg announces he has a gun in his pocket.
Yeah, what's up? Yeah. Dude, last time I played Call of Duty, I became a juggalo for 3 years.
Wow.
You know, and I can't risk that again. I can't do that to my family.
I can't do that to my family.
Can't do that to my family.
Gigi was going crazy.
I mean, we do have a Diablo 4 expansion we could watch, but like Blizzard games are. I think I played Diablo 2 like up until the day Diablo 3 dropped.
Yeah.
And then played Diablo 3 up until Diablo 4
I
dropped.
love Diablo.
Like,
I love Diablo 4, dude.
Diablo
I haven't
4.
played I didn't play any of the expansions, unfortunately, because I just didn't have time.
they're good.
But-
The end game still gets a little grindy, but it seems like the stuff that they're talking about in the roadmap for 2026 will aim to fix that. The seasonal things I thought were like a little bit hit or miss. I think I read at one point they had 2 different teams working on it. But you know, again, like talking about like moment to moment gameplay, Diablo 4 is so good at just being like, holy crap, it's been 6 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like where you're just that loop is so immediately satisfying.
I think they did a good job with chopping it up in the chapters in Diablo 4,
Yeah,
where it was like,
yeah.
oh, I got to this, I got to this, I got to this. I think, and so did Baldur's Gate 3. I was like, oh yeah, I love these chapters. When I got to talk to the people that did Spider-Man 2, I remember that was the most interesting part to all of our conversations. Was I was like, how do you know when to like actually input the story parts? Like when do you know? Especially, how are you guys gonna do the balance between Miles and Peter Parker, because they're both. Miles is now so popular in media, but then we have Peter Parker, who we're always so used to seeing and we want to see. How are you guys going to balance that? And they were like, yeah, we had a hard time doing it. They're like, we had a hard time doing it. That's why we're probably going to make another just Miles game. But the storytelling arcs of like when to chop up, they were like, it's really hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to like figure out. That's why you need really good writers for stories.
One, I think something Baldur's Gate did really, really well that I hadn't seen before, and maybe people who play more open world games than I do have run into this before, but like, they took a game that was basically open world, but were like, yeah, but here's the open world section for the first third.
Yeah.
Here's the open world section for the second third. And
yeah.
Whereas I tend to get very overwhelmed by open world games. There's just too much to do.
I love it. You're in your mind. You don't like that freedom? You don't like that freedom?
Well, because I grew up in an era where you could complete games, you know, and then I played Skyrim and was like, what's happening? You know, like, I'm a side quest boy.
I gotta be in a box.
Yeah.
I'm a side quest boy. Yeah. It's like, there's an icon on the map. I gotta clear it, you know,
you guys
like
are crazy.
I like the concept, but yeah, it's just, when it's too much, it's, you know, also the the developers, they have like their story they want to tell. So
Yeah.
like, I want to go through that story, but then when there's all these other cycles, I'm like, well, I have to.
It fights against it. Like, you know,
It does.
with like the Horizon games, for instance, which I thought like have great combat, great crafting, great like looting systems. You know, they're like, Aloy, you got to save the world. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm going to go kill this like robot T-Rex for like the next 3 hours because I want a better spear or whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel unified
And that's what,
to me.
and unfortunately, I love it. That's what I do. Immediately, I will get all the money I can, get everything. I'm doing it literally in Arc Raiders. I'm like, no, let's just keep going out for 10 seconds and getting back in. As soon as I can get whatever I can find, I'm going right back to my little hovel, checking with my chicken, and I'm selling those pieces. Like, that's all I'm doing. And I will say, it does not work for a lot of people.
No, I love a good grind.
Someone did ask, like, what was our game of the years?
Oh, man.
The unfortunate part was, I think, genuinely, Clair Obscura deserved game of the year. I think it deserved game of the year. It's not, when you say what's Jessica's game of the year, it's like, unfortunately, what the fuck is it?
Rivals?
Yeah, Rivals. Yeah, it's like what I play in my house every
yeah.
second of every day. But watching my roommate play Expedition 33, first off, that music has not gone off in my house. He listens to it 24/7, and it's great soundtrack. But I mean, Jesus fucking Christ! But it's a great soundtrack. But I think that game is so gorgeous. It's so beautiful. It's amazing. Last year's game of the year, I was like, it is. What is it? What won last year? It was the PlayStation game, the little one. The Mario, like,
Astrobot?
Astrobot
Won game of the year?
Yeah, that's when I went, oh, my game of the year actually won. I loved Astrobot.
I mean, I think for me, Silk Song and Hades 2, which, you know, I played both over the summer. Like I really think Silk Song's a masterpiece, you know, like, and it's hard for a game. When did Hollow Knight come out? Like 2018?
Something like that.
Like, it was a long time ago. And Silk Song has been like, you know, it became a meme how long it had been delayed for. To wait that long for a game and then still have it live up to the hype is like really hard. And I think in terms of moment to moment gameplay, Silksong was so difficult that like those successes when like you beat Morwing for the first time or you beat the last judge, like those are some of like the fist pumpiest, like jumping up out of my thing, like, yeah! You know, like screaming things I had all year. Big, it was a smaller game. Shinobi Art of Vengeance also was like a great game. It was small, it was short, and Hades too. But the one thing I have with roguelike games is you have to choose when the game is over, which is always a little unsatisfying. That's just part of the genre. But Hades 2 and Silksong for me were very, very, very major games this year.
Yeah.
I also have not played the Ghost of Yotai or whatever yet.
I had a friend who played it who has pretty similar taste in games to me, and he was like,
damn.
Okay. It wasn't really any complaints. Was just like it's fine, you know. But it looks so good that I want to love it.
Interesting.
What about you, Brian? Game of the year.
Unfortunately this year I haven't played too many games. But of the games that I've played, I'd give it up for Silksong. Yeah. Just because I mentioned this before, but like, yeah, when I first played Silksong, I was like, oh my god, this is a video game. Like, games are meant to be fun, and I'm having fun, and I just like was like having a good time moving around. That's good. And especially because like, you know, it's a sequel game, so they like made it like harder kind of, or at least the movement stuff were different enough.
Well, yeah, because her move set is already so much more expansive than the Knights was in the first one that they kind of had to make all the enemies harder to balance it out.
For sure. Which but I remember when Expedition 33 was first like getting the rounds, all my friends were like, you gotta play it. You gotta play it. I'm like, I guess I gotta play it.
Yeah.
I guess I got it.
Did you play it?
No.
Brian!
I bet if I did play it, I would like it a lot.
Would.
Yeah.
A lot.
I think it's so up your alley. It's really pretty. Yeah. It's really fun to play. And it's, if you like the beefiness, like the fights in Silksong, I think you would like it.
And I know, like, generally speaking, I'm not like huge on turn-based, but like the way they implemented it, I think was like, it's similar to like a lot of the Mario RPGs where there's like action buttons.
Yes.
Like, while doing the moves, you do actions to like either assist attacks or block attacks or whatever.
Yeah, so there's still like a timing kind of thing. Yeah.
And I'm a sucker for that, so I know I would like it. I just need to sit down and play it.
I have a friend who played he might still be playing it. Who said he cranked the difficulty all the way up, and that when you do that, it becomes like Elden Ring.
Sure.
I don't think I'm going to do that, but I do want to play it.
I can't stress enough how many games, if I can go into those settings and turn them all the way down, I will. I always choose the story mode that has like more story than it does actual gameplay, and then I also go, let me go as low as I can. It took me so long to realize I could do that in Spider-Man 2. I got my ass beaten by Kraven. Maybe 35 times. It was disgusting. And I remember being like, because this is also this is me ranting now. When we're playing games for work, we only get 3 days to play them. So I don't get chances to beef up my characters or do a skill tree. So when I was playing Spider-Man 2, I had the weakest Spider-Man going up against Kraven.
You don't got any of your fun gadget webs.
I had nothing because I have to try to play through that game in 3 days. And then we were being Ben Lindbergh of The Ringer were like, yeah, we need to start giving us 2 weeks. 2 weeks. When we did Death Stranding, we gave each other like 2 months. And let me tell you, I still didn't finish that. I still didn't finish that game. But I'm also not walking for 40 hours.
It's true.
Sorry if those answered your guys' questions.
I think that answered the question.
Yeah.
Any other trailer we're dying to see?
Let's see. Jess, you want to pick one out? We've basically gone through.
Should we, just for the sake of who we are, do Invincible?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm down.
Sure. Yeah. Both you guys have checked that one off.
It's true. I hate that show.
So
I'm joking. Don't clip that.
Clip it.
No, clip it.
Fruits, the Avatar.
Elemental, voiced by Tierra Whack.
Tierra
Whack. That's my girl. This is Prism and Dispatch all over again. It looks fun. I'm not like having. April 30th? That's like
soon.
right around the time it ends.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense. That they're
Oh,
like right
they're
as
gonna
tie it in.
yeah. So Invincible ends. It's probably gonna pick up right here because The Boys is April, and the last 2 episodes of Invincible's newest season will go into the first 2 episodes of The Boys.
Yeah,
so it will go
okay.
into the game, which I think is really interesting about the game. Is that there's a bunch of original characters.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are they original or are they going to be put in
Show
the
up in
show?
season.
Yeah, they're going to
Yeah,
show
yeah,
up in
yeah.
the season. That and I think it looks fun. I'm not going to have like it's not I'm not beelining for it like I am for Exodus and the other games, but I'm like, yeah, this looks fun if you want to make your own thing. It's Amazon, isn't it? Is it an Amazon
Invincible?
game?
Amazon
No,
game.
is it an Amazon game?
Oh, Amazon Games. Oh, let me see.
They also, I think, the writer for the story is the writer from Invincible and from Adam Eve's show, which I think is very interesting. That's the part I'm more interested in. I'm like, oh, I want to see how you go from a series to a video game.
Yeah.
What is this
especially a
story?
fighting game, which are not known for narrative.
Oh yeah. Also, it's a brand new character. I do wonder, like, since the show is still going on, like, is there gonna be like some tie-in? That would be fun.
I feel like you have to. One relies on the other.
It's true.
Do you guys have like? Because I don't play many fighting games because I suck at them. I'm legendarily bad. But when you guys like pick up a fighting game, like what are the things you're looking for? Do you want sick combos, just like fun button mashy? Like what's kind of your steez?
I try to always perfect the combos, and I'm not good at it, and it becomes button mashing. I'm rewinding my brain to the first time I played Injustice, and that was like immediately what I would do. I was like writing down on like a notebook pad paper like the
left,
keys.
X,
I was
triangle,
like, so I always try to perfect combos.
I think same. I mean, it's a fighting game. I think combo game is like part of its like soul.
Yeah.
And also like fun like character. Like for me, I just like playing around with different kinds of characters. Like if all the characters are fun and unique, that's what's really intriguing to me. And like the Invincible world has a lot of cool stuff. Like especially when they announced that like Cecil was gonna be a character.
Cecil's
like,
a character?
Yeah, Cecil's a character. And I'm like, wait, what was he gonna do? But it's so fun because like his movement is like the teleporting, or he calls out the reanimate.
Oh, that makes sense.
He has like a gun that shoots things, and also like in the game there's like a clash where like the 2 characters like clash together. But instead of him, he uses the reanimate to clash for him.
That's so
it's
fun.
just like cute. But yeah, stuff like that. That's always fun.
Did you play the Cartoon Network one? It was like the Cartoon Network. It had like you could play as like Beetlejuice or the Looney Tunes or Adventure Time characters.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I was like, that seems like something you would love. But it was the same thing where I'm like, look at all these crazy characters. I can play as like Scooby Doo. It was crazy. That game was so much fun when it was on.
It is interesting though, because like I do think, as much as I like fighting games, I do think it's still pretty niche in that like it's hard to like really like fighting games are hard. Like learning combos and playing against other people is really hard.
Because it's not even like Silk Song where it's like it's hard, but you're at least doing it the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Fighting games is like, well, no, this is a new round. I got to have everything ready to go.
And of all the games, it's the most like if you don't know what you're doing, fighting a person who knows what you're doing, you're just like getting beat up over and over again, and that's like not fun. So it is it makes sense because it's like superheroes and people want to fight, but you know I wonder how they're gonna do with like the casual market, because
that's true.
We'll see.
I think that's why I'm like, I think they're relying heavily on the Invincible fans.
Sure.
They're like Invincible fans have to play. They're gonna have to want to play this game. I think that's the same with MK1. Like Mortal Kombat's great, people like it, but it was when they started putting Homelander in there and the Invincible characters. You're like, wait a minute, I can drink breast milk. Like that's when that's when you join the game.
The breast milk DLC.
I do think that, like, at least for the Mortal Kombat, part of the appeal to the casual fans is also the like fatalities and the brutality of it. That like it really attracts people.
They'll give them something here. They'll give them something here.
I will play if someone has Invincible and we play it in studio. I'll play it
we'll
and get my bottom slapped. But that's probably not a game I'll gravitate to on my own.
I think we'll probably play it regardless because of the breakdowns. We'll probably be like, is there anything in here that appears at this?
True.
And then I go, Eric, can you buy it for me, please? Eric, buy it for me, please. Gigi, can you buy it for me, please?
Gigi, you can get it? All right, now I think let's do maybe one more trailer and we'll wrap it up on that. My pitch would be this one here because I think it looks fun. It's an IP we know.
I don't know this IP.
You don't know this IP?
What the fuck? Why would I know this IP?
Why is this giving me like health benefits of reishi mushroom?
What did you do to these hyperlinks? And don't play it if it is. Okay.
No, it's not health.
I was like, did we pod racing game?
Yeah. Now this is pod racing.
Now this.
Lightning fast.
Ka-chow. Do you think Cars is gonna show up in here?
Cars crossover?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with open.
And Mater's going to show up.
With the AI that they just sold?
Oh,
little Sebulba glamour shot right at the end
Is this Disney? Does Disney own any part of this?
They must. Disney owns everything. It's like Disney and Netflix
it's
now.
Crazy.
It's 2025. Get used to it.
I bought a Disney oven the other day.
A Disney oven?
Didn't even know. No, I'm joking. But they are going to become G&E. Give it some time. Your toasters are going to be imprinted with the Mickey Mouse symbol.
Honestly, my main surprise was that you bought a Disney oven and didn't know it was Disney until you got it home. Was like my headcanon.
I like how you went through the loops of actually believing me.
Yes, immediately I was like, "That's crazy," but Jess wouldn't do it on purpose.
I just need a new oven if it turned out to be a Disney one.
Hey man,
you're right.
But yeah, I mean that looks super fun. I played a ton of the N64 pod racing game when I was in like middle school or early high school, whenever that would have been. And so for me, this looks like okay, great. I get like a little bit of nostalgia burst. You know, I like Mario Kart so much. You know, for just like that combat racing game, but all the Mario Kart knockoffs feel too close to Mario Kart.
Sure.
Like, you know, like Crash Team Racing, and like there was a Garfield one that came out recently. Like, they feel close enough that I'm like, well, why would I not just be playing Mario Kart? This feels like it's its own thing, and I could get on board for that.
Yeah, I haven't played the original pod racing game, so I don't know like mechanically how different the racing feels, or if it's like, is it like similar to F-Zero? If it's like super fast and like anti-grav stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, very exciting. I'm just glad that there seems to be like. I don't know. This year seemed to be particularly pretty good. A good year for Game Award trailers.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of
some years you're like, I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of like I remember for a long time it was always like something's always a shooter. It's always like something gritty. But granted, there's a lot of Souls-like games shown. But
yes, I think I don't mind the Souls-like. Souls, you know. I think one of the most tedious things you can do as a gamer is really get nitpicky about genre definitions and like. I'm not going to do that. But yeah, come on. I mean, Souls-like is barely a genre. It's just slang for like, this is a very hard game with combat. You know, like...
That's what people were thinking one of these games were. I can't remember
it which was one. Was it Decrepit?
Was it Decrepit?
Decrepit is I think it's a first-person Souls-like.
It's a first-person Souls-like.
Which is interesting.
There was another one... Bradley the Badger was the blurb I read for it was, you're a badger and it's a Souls-like, but... The trailer makes it clear like Souls-likes are like one genre of game it kind of parodies as it goes
it's a parody
through.
Game, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of trailers we didn't have time to get to. I'm excited about Coven of the Chickenfoot from the Uncharted 4 director. Yeah, I mean, I'll play the Lord of Hatred expansion for Diablo 4.
I probably won't, but I'm excited for it. No, I don't have time to play any of these. That's the hard part. We're breaking down like 7 shows and and 2 movies in the next 3 months.
I will play Order of the Sinking Star. I've yet to play a Jonathan Blow game I've really loved, but Order of the Sinking Star looks so up my alley.
I'll probably not play Resident Evil, but I'll watch someone play it.
Yeah, Resident Evil's never been my franchise. I just kind of like missed it when it came out because the cinematic camera angles like confused me.
I love it. It's just too scary. It's genuinely just too scary for me. Same with but I'll play Phasmophobia. I always play Phasmophobia.
Yeah,
Phasmophobia coming to the Switch
and
too.
That's the part that I'm gonna play the hell out of. I'm so happy it's gonna be on my Switch. I've been playing that on my Switch and Marvel Cosmic Invasions. Those love playing.
I beat it the other night. It's so fun.
Good.
It's so fun. I unlocked all the characters. I'll play more of it over the holidays with my nephews and my daughter and stuff. But
there you go.
But yeah, it's super fun.
There's a lot of trailers that we cannot get through.
Yeah, I'm excited about Mega Man. It's tough. The Mega Man has like a real up and down kind of history as a franchise. But I'll always come back to it. Mega Man X was like a formative game for me as a kid, as was Mega Man 2 and 3. A lot of them were formative. I had a lot of formative moments.
3.
Audio Mech is a game that like looks interesting in that you can use your own music. Like a lot of music games kind of miss me because if the music's not like exactly up my alley, then I have a hard time justifying sticking with it. But Audio Mech looks like you'll be able to use your own music.
It's like Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
There's also a game that I saw. I forgot which one it was, but it's from the people who made Amnesia and Soma. They're making a new like horror game, and
Was that Ontos? Ontos is one of the ones you checked off that I'm not familiar with. And then you had also, Brian, you had highlighted a game called High Guard, which looks like a PvP shooter, I think, with like wizards with guns. You know, like
it's
which
like
is always a fun combo.
High fantasy hero shooter is what it looks like.
Yeah.
So like in the vein of like Overwatch or Marvel Rivals, but like the aesthetic is high fantasy. I think it's really cool. It's from the people, or like some of the people who are part of Apex and Titanfall, and so like those people are known for like really clean, shooting gameplay mechanics. So that looks a lot of fun. Just because like I like genre mixing. I like the fact that like just because it's like this fantasy like skin makes me really interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited for that.
Okay, well, great. Well, we'll call it there, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Break Room. Thank you for watching it live if you're watching it live. Thank you for watching the VOD if you're watching the VOD. $2 super chat from BBX6969 saying good to see you. BBX, good to see you. We stream generally Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We would love to do more games coverage, but we need your help to make it happen. So, you know, if these videos start being like very strong performers for us, we will do more games coverage in a heartbeat. Otherwise, 100%. What's going to happen is when me, Brian, and Jess are like, screw it, we're doing games coverage, then we'll do games coverage. But we want to be able to do it more. So if you guys like it, let us know in the comments. If there's other kinds of games you'd like to see us cover, other ways you'd like to see us cover them, please let us know in the comments. Follow us on socials at BreakroomNR. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out nerdriot.shop to get some merch and support the channel. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.